And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Welcome to this month's feature of the menu. We have with us tonight our friends from Wegmans. Give them a round of applause. This is going to be a really interesting program because I think, as most of us know, the items that are going to be featured this evening are sushi. I'm going to say sushi related, if you don't mind, Chef. You might not like that, but because the first thing that we think of when we think of sushi is raw fish, which is not always necessarily the case. And Chef is going to talk us through that and explain a little bit more how all that works. But before we get started, I have a couple of house announcements to make. I would like to send out a very special thank you to our sponsors. Our season presenting sponsor is Toyota of Scranton. Our season premiere sponsor, United Gilsonite Laboratories. Major sponsors are LT Verastro. Box office sponsor, Fidelity Bank. And the menu sponsor for the season has been McGrill, Mergel & Quinn. Thank you. I know that we have some board members that are in the house. I would love to give them a very special thank you for being here and all of your support and all of the hours that you put in to help make things happen here at the Cultural Center. Deb Peterson is going to be on board with the microphone, getting in on the conversation as soon as we get started. We've got lots of events that we're going to be talking about, and one more thank you out to our volunteers that are going to be help serving.
Do you want to put the rice in here?
And Mark Migliori is here from ECTV, and this is going to be rebroadcast probably as early as tonight, and we'll be showing that throughout the rest of the month. So before, I'm going to introduce Tony Griffiths. Chef Tony Griffiths is our presenting chef, and sous chef Jenna. Jenna, what is your last name?
Jenna Fuller.
Nice, Jenna Fuller. So we are going to talk sushi. That's awesome.
All right, hello folks. So sushi actually means Sue and she. So this is sushi what we're making, so it's not sushi related. So sushi is vinegar, so Sue, and she is rice.
So Sue
means
vinegar in Japanese.
She means rice. So anything that is sushi is vinegared rice. So what we're doing here is we're going to break rice. So this is something that I was sent to the great lands of Rochester to learn how to make sushi. I know it's kind of odd to think that Rochester is this great place for sushi, but it is. So what we have here is, this is called koshikari rice. So if you look at this, it's a little sticky, it sticks to my fingers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it. So this actually means to take the rice, and it's going to make a ball, and it's going to fall. So I know we probably all make rice at home, and then you overcook it, you can mush it, you can turn it into sticky rice. You don't know how you got it there, but this is a way of we add a little bit of vinegar. So it's called Marucan vinegar. So we taste tested this vinegar from multiple sources. We had vinegar that we tried, and we found this to be the best. So this is very comparable to what they have at Nobu in Philadelphia. It's not super acidic. It's not overly sweet. So it's something that's we found that we really like. Same thing with our rice. This is grown here in the United States in California. We have this grown for us specifically at Wegmans. Every 21 days they harvest this rice for us. So it's kept in a controlled environment, and every 21 days they have rice that is brought down, harvested, and then we keep it for 45 days at max, because what happens is it starts to dry out. So when it starts to dry out, you have to add more liquid to it when you cook, so we don't have consistency. So we try to have something where we have new crop and old crop for sushi rice to understand how much water we need to add, how do we have the perfect sushi, and this at a grocery store.
I didn't know that.
So what you're seeing here is I'm just folding it in. I'm going to bring it all together. Keep folding it in.
Chef, I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Is there a reason why it's grown in California as opposed to anywhere else? Is it the climate that's working perfectly, or?
Well, I'd like to say it would be the perfect climate, but that was the company that we found that would, grow it to our standards and our specifics. So that's why we have it grown in California. But this is actually, we found this in Japan. So before we do anything as a company, we research. Sometimes things take 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years until we actually go forward with it, because we want to make sure what we're serving to our customers is the best. So that's where when you try this rice, it's bone white. It has a beautiful texture. It's not overly sticky. It doesn't have aftertaste of anything. Like sometimes if you eat like Ben's rice, you have that flavor. It's just, maybe it's not as appealing, but this is something that you guys are going to be trying very shortly. So as you can see, it's starting to mound here. So that's where we're breaking the rice. So what we're looking for is something that sticks. So now I have, we can make little nigiri balls. So we have our rice is just about there.
Chef, what did you call those?
Nigiri.
Oh, I thought you said, okay.
So nigiri is pretty much traditional Japanese sushi. So if you ever watched on Netflix, there's Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's about this sushi chef that he devoted his whole entire life to sushi. So check it out. It's all about artistry and, just a love of his art. And all he serves is pretty much nigiri. It's rice, wasabi, and fish. But the best.
Oh, wow.
Every single day he's getting his fish from the market, making sure that the nori, which we have, he crisps it over a flame to actually roast the nori and bring out the flavor to it. We at Wegmans and every other sushi place, we actually have frozen sushi, frozen fish. I thought it was the oddest thing in the whole entire world. I thought everybody had fresh fish. They should always have fresh fish, is my thought, right? But the reason behind the frozen fish is because we freeze it to a negative 60 degrees to kill off any type of parasite. So there's nothing that you can actually eat it raw. So you may go to a fishmonger and buy some tuna or buy some salmon, and you're like, yeah, I want that medium rare or rare. You could do it, it's up to you. It's your body. But we choose to freeze our fish to negative 60 degrees to make sure that anything possible that was in that protein is killed off. So I'm gonna have Jenna make a couple of rolls here.
Chef, could that specific kind of rice be used for other dishes, or is that very specific to sushi?
Very specific to sushi. So you can find there's long grain, short grain rice. This right here is a short grain rice. Very specific to sushi because of the texture. You can, if you want, absolutely, you can make a bowl out of it if you want to put, some of the sushi rice, which I used to do every single day for lunch. I'd go over to Jenna and say, give me half a pound of rice, because I love the acidulated rice, and I'd put some Mongolian beef over the top or something of that sort.
Is there a reason why you chose these items for the presentation this month? Is there?
Yes, we have our brand new Vietnamese shrimp. So, like I said, when we source things, we talked about this probably about 4 years ago. I started learning about this Vietnamese shrimp. I'm sorry, 3 years ago for Vietnamese shrimp. When I was in sushi school, they were talking about, we're gonna find a product, I think it's page 74 in the menu magazine. We're gonna find a product that is sustainable, no hormones, no antibiotics. We're going to be able to give back. We actually have folks in Vietnam that own these mangroves. We went over there and we were looking for something that was, to our standards. When we went over, we went to a couple places. They kind of, polished it up and look how beautiful this is, and we knew there wasn't something right. So our executive chef that's in charge of sushi went to this place, and the mangroves weren't that nice. The people were really trying to produce a product that was beautiful and something that somebody's going to enjoy, and we saw the potential. So we went in and actually funded these folks to open up these mangroves for us. Nobody else gets the shrimp besides us. Yeah, so So we went in and they cleaned up everything. It's bringing the mangroves back, and it's keeping the shrimp specifically for Wegmans. So we have a couple things like that. We have if you guys ever had the New Zealand king salmon, it's on page 78. We went there probably about 2 years ago. We tried the salmon, and we said, we'll take everything you have. And they were just like, we want everything.
Oh.
So the flavor of that salmon, I'm not the biggest fan of salmon, but when I tried this, it made me a salmon fan over and over. It's buttery, it's not salmony. If you let it sit out for a little bit, the fats start to come out of it, and it's absolutely delicious. So that's another thing where we came across that we're like, we want everything you have, and we don't want anybody else to have it.
What's different about the Vietnamese shrimp? Why is it different? What's different about the taste or the texture?
Well, I wouldn't say much difference in taste and texture. It's more of it's a wild shrimp. So anything wild is going to have the flavors of its surroundings. So if it continuously feeds on, let's say algae of that area, it may have, a more irony flavor to it. So if you have your farm raised, they eat the same thing day in, day out. It's not going to have that flavor that you're going to get for something that's wild. We can't necessarily call it wild because we have it kind of, not say caged in. So what it is, the mangroves, in high tide and low tide. So in high tide, they open up the gates, the shrimp can go out, then they come back in. So with our king salmon, we have it in glacier runoff. So the water is as close as it can come to being wild salmon. So they hand feed them. These fish are only kept in this water. So the individuals that own this are like the president of New Zealand, which is, I think it's the prime minister of New Zealand, like biologists, folks that put a ton of time and energy into us. And we found them by chance, and we're lucky enough to have their product. So what I'd like to do now is what roll do you want to make, Jenna?
Avocado cucumber?
Avocado cucumber.
That sounds delicious.
So we're going to make a roll. I would like, if it's possible, somebody like to try rolling sushi. If there's anybody out there that was, they always want to learn how to make sushi, but they seem extremely difficult. It's not. It's actually really easy. It's just a process of, an inch here, roll this way, move this, flip it over. So
who's going to volunteer to come up?
All right.
Oh, cool. We have a taker. We might need the mic.
Is that what?
We have John Murray.
Welcome, John.
One of our board members.
John, you look like an extra large hand.
Hi, John. John, I'm gonna grab the microphone.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Have fun doing that.
So Jen is going to explain what side up for the nori, how far away the rice should be from the edge. So we have what's called the California roll for a reason, because when Japanese folks came to the United States, this is how the United States folks like to eat sushi. They didn't like the flavor of the nori. So nori is seaweed, and it can impart a very fishy flavor to sushi if you have it on the outside of the sushi. So the first roll in the United States was the California roll. They put this nori on the inside and the rice on the outside. They never did that in Japan. They do what's called, it's a maki roll, which is protein, rice, and nori. So they found that the Americans like to have the nori hidden. So that's why we have the California roll.
It's good for you, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Loaded with nutrients.
Yeah, so the flavor of this, we do a blind test every single year. We might come across 10 different nori. Somebody's always trying to say, I have the best, I have the best. We do a blind test, and we keep going back to this. This is grown 30 miles off the coast of China by a Japanese company. So it is something that we found as a company that we love, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as we do.
So we're thrilled that John Murray, our Vice President of our Board of Directors, is here to Say hello.
So, Jenna, show John how you would portion out some rice
Okay.
and spread it across the nori.
Okay, so this is your average nori. This is actually a half sheet. Sometimes if you get them in the store, it comes in a full sheet. You can cut it in half. So there's ridges on the one side, and it is smooth on the other side. We want to put the rice on the side of the ridges. So you just grab a little ball, and you place it on top. And this is a little sticky for the rice. And you just spread it across. You don't want to press too hard.
Can everyone see this on the screen?
Here, come
Is
over
my
here.
head hitting it?
Okay, I think you have to move down a little bit. Over to where Chef was working. Sorry. There you go, see?
Get a little bit more rice.
It only took me all season to remember to ask that question. I'm kidding.
I want my head in there. All right, so yeah, you don't want to squish the rice down. You want it to be fluffy still. So you just spread it across. And you're gonna flip it over because, again, you want the rice on the outside. We're gonna put a little bit of avocado.
See, this is so cool because I never wanted to learn how to make sushi, but this is actually really kind of fun to watch.
So you want to make sure that all of your ingredients are coming all the way to the edges too, because you don't want the end pieces to get none of the action.
Why don't you put the ingredients on the bottom?
What do you mean?
So why do you put them right in the middle?
So when I put these in the middle, I usually have the avocado facing towards me more, and then the stick or the cucumber on the outside, so I can grip it. It's easier to grip and pull in the actual sushi. So you place it on here.
John, are you scared?
I have to do that?
You're next. You're next. All right, so when you place your sushi on the mat, there are two sides to the mat. There's one, this side is, I don't know if you could see that. Right here, cool.
You have a beige side and a green side.
Yes, so this is more round, this is a curved, and then this is flat. So you always want the flat side. You want to have one finger width showing in the front of the mat. So you're just going to grab your cucumber and you're going to pull the rice around and you're going to squeeze it. And that's where you get the tightness of the roll. That's your first step. So there's essentially two steps. That's all it is. And then you pull the mat one more time, squeeze it a little bit, and you're done. You have sushi. Voila.
John, piece of cake.
I don't even know what side of the grooves are.
I'll show you. Are you ready? You want to try it?
I'm ready, yeah.
All right.
Can you use these things for like little windows for shade? You know?
These? Sure.
Windows.
Why not?
Little windows for
All right,
Only
so grab
you.
your nori.
Now,
Doesn't that look like paper mache?
that's the smooth side?
Yep, that's the smooth side.
Remember
Yeah,
that
that
easy
little grooves,
doing when we were
yeah.
kids?
That there. Now I gotta do this.
Yep, just grab a little bit of rice.
A little bit of
You
rice.
can always grab more.
You're gonna get a little bit of rice and you're gonna make a ball out of it. So you take your little bit of rice and you're gonna put it on the
The one side.
rough side here.
Yep, and you're going to push it
rough
over.
side.
And you're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
push it over, but not too hard.
I think
Yeah.
you're supposed to make a ball.
I did make a
Want
ball.
it fluffy still.
I made the ball and then I'm pushing it.
It's
back.
very sticky, very sticky rice.
Enough here.
Just kind of, yep.
Are we seeing that on the
you can add,
screen?
You can add more, yep.
I can add a little more.
I think I made it a little extra sticky. I apologize.
That's okay. Nothing
It's still going to taste good.
It's funny.
Nothing like sticky rice.
He's the best.
You're doing a great job.
I'm
John, you
trying
really are.
really hard. Of course,
Try and get all the green, as much as the green as you can.
Is Elizabeth here today?
Yeah, she's back there.
Is John a neat freak?
Wondering
And
what- Oh, yeah.
everyone is perfect.
Socks on
The rice is all pointed in one direction.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
I'm real neat. Yeah. Okay, I think I kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good, it looks good.
See, what's great about sushi, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can, I've seen folks just take it, they slide it over,
Once you
throw some
roll it up.
ingredients, roll it up, it's done.
Exactly.
Okay, so now what do I have to do?
All right, then you flip it over.
I gotta flip this over. This is all gonna stick together here?
Yep.
It's not gonna fall off?
Nope.
No, that's not
Oh,
going
wait,
anywhere.
aren't there other
too sticky.
ingredients?
All right.
I think he's got this.
I think I got it.
That was almost like flipping a pancake.
Add your ingredients.
Adding my ingredients now.
What ingredients are those,
Well, we've
John?
got avocados here, and I just found out celery. They're not celery, cucumber. It's a C. Take that down. We want to go all the way to end to end.
Yep.
Do you cook at
Beautiful.
home?
Of course I cook at home.
Of course he does. This is awesome.
Nobody will let me cook anywhere else.
That's too funny.
That, like on each side?
Yeah, so you could push that one over a little bit. There you go.
Wait,
there.
it's like, okay, perfect.
Right? Okay. And then I'm ready to roll.
You have a loose,
Yep,
you
so
have
you
a
have-
loose one there hanging
Ready
on.
to roll.
So you have one finger,
Okay.
and you want to grab. Yep, perfect.
Oh, that looks good.
And then press it down, like there. Kind of squeeze it a little bit.
All right.
Do you roll things a lot?
Me?
Yeah. Well, no, he's doing it so perfectly.
It's so boring. No.
Oh, that's too funny.
Okay.
And then you're just going to take it, and you're
Take
going
it.
to kind of slide it forward.
Slide like this. Wait,
Slide
I
the
think
top
I can do
here.
this.
Yep,
Let's
so then
pick
you're
that
just
up.
going to slide
Slide it.
that. There you go. And then
Okay.
squish it.
Okay.
Squeeze it. There you go.
See, what the great thing about sushi, we're not looking for anything to be round.
You unveiling,
You
right?
never want it to be round, so this is...
Drum roll.
Whoa.
Beautiful. You can check the bottom to see if it's attached.
See
Good.
it? Great
Nice.
job.
Awesome.
I have to tell you, I am so impressed. Well, I guess you could see it on the screen. but
You're a
like,
natural.
Yeah.
Looks
Totally
good.
impressed.
Does anybody else want to
I just sent for my DNA. I could be part Chinese.
I think we have an activity coming up with the grandkids. Sorry, Elizabeth.
Am I all done now?
Yeah,
done. Great
does
job.
anybody else want to try, or
So adorable.
anybody want to try their luck?
Was
No?
that fun? That was fun to watch, actually.
I love like rubber gloves too. They're fun too. All right.
Gotta love a guy
thank
with
you.
an imagination.
Great job.
That's great.
Done here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's a little garbage right there for
Right
you.
there, down there, you can just throw them in there.
Okay, good.
Let's
See you guys tomorrow. It's Senior
All
Tuesday.
right, perfect.
Senior That's too funny. Oh, give
Thank
him a
you.
round of applause. Oh, John, would you mind terribly giving this back to Deb so she could stay with us in the conversation? Perfect. Oh, that was so much fun. Wow.
All right, great job, John.
But no, seriously, he was like making sure everything was like so neat, and the roll was just perfect.
Actually looks good. It's all sealed, so...
What's the test? What is the true test of a perfectly rolled?
Well, the true test of a perfect roll, if you see this is not the shape, it's not round. You want a flat side so it doesn't fall over, so his is a triangle, so great job. As long as it's not round. Good job, John.
Hey, John, you're such a sport. Thank you so much.
So I know, I always wondered, I was like, man, how do they cut that sushi? It doesn't fall apart. You know, it's all on the knife. So the way I was taught to cut you, put them between your fingers, like so.
That's where I'd have to call it a day.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, no, see, that would be dangerous.
So just one cut in, you know, it's one forward cut.
Do you have to go that fast?
No. You do not. No, absolutely not. So we have our avocado cucumber roll, which John made. Great job. One Jenna's. So
Wow.
Anything you like. If you want to put spicy sauce, if you want to put crab stick, shrimp, it's whatever you like. So this comes down to what we're going to serve is Thai sweet potato, which is a roasted sweet potato with sweet Thai chili sauce, rice, cucumber, avocado. Apologize, I don't know the ingredients as well as Jenna. She's the master.
And then we have a California roll, so that's your normal.
What's in a California roll?
Avocado, cucumber, and crab stick. So we have different kinds of California rolls. There's a shrimp California roll, and we have a salmon California roll. Every California roll has avocado and cucumber, and then you have your protein. Salmon California has salmon inside of it.
And go ahead, I apologize.
Nope.
I'm going to start the garden veggie roll here. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to ask a question about the different types of fish you could put in sushi. I mean, obviously, if you're using shrimp, you have to cook shrimp. You have to cook shellfish, correct? It has to be cooked.
Not necessarily.
Okay, that was what I always thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's to your preference. We have a raw section, we have a cook section. I didn't bring any raw with me for purposes of, by the time we brought it here.
Yeah. Temperature control.
Yes.
Everything, right.
So, but it's whatever fancies you. You know, if you like scallops raw, I would suggest buying them from the sushi department because they are frozen and they were frozen to negative 60 degrees. If you want, you can buy them from the seafood department. If you know a great local, fishmonger that has fresh product and you really trust them, you can do that as well. So that's up to you.
So what other kinds of fish do you use besides scallops and salmon and shrimp?
We use Kona Kampachi, which is farmed for us outside of Hawaii. That's actually in an aquaculture, so it's pretty much just a big cage out in the ocean, and it's another fish that's farmed just for us at Wegmans. I wish I could have went on that trip to find that fish. We also have wild sockeye, which is another great thing. We went out to Alaska. We go everywhere we go. We find out whose boat. Are they willing to do what we want them to do? And if so, then we'll go forward with it. So we do a process, it's called ikejime. Has anybody ever heard of ikejime?
I've seen it on the menu.
So yeah, ikejime is a process of harvesting an animal without it knowing that it died. So what we do, it's a process where they cut the artery in the gill, they bleed it out, and they run a rod down its spine. So it never ever goes into rigor mortis. So it's the worst thing you can do to a protein is put it into rigor mortis. So if you caught a fish, ate it 2 hours later, the texture of it's going to be horrible. You probably thought this is the best thing because it's fresh fish. Mm-hmm. You should actually let it sit for about a day before you eat that. So it never knows that it went into rigor mortis, but we still let it sit for a day as well. So we went to Alaska, and we asked them if they dream freeze it, which Jen will explain a little bit about dream freezing, and do all the processes that we want. And we asked them, can you produce 100,000 pounds for us?
100 pounds?
Yeah.
1,000 pounds?
Yeah, so that'll be a question that we'll ask somebody. Can you keep up with us? We have the biggest sushi. We produce the most sushi in this country.
Oh.
By the amount of stores. We have close to 100 stores, and how much sushi that we produce, can you keep up with us? If you can't keep up with us, we can't do business with you because we want to have a consistent product. So what we did, we actually got planes and dropped fry all the little tiny salmon into the ocean, or so that these little fry, or into the lakes, so these little fries would run and then run upstream. So we actually gave back to Mother Nature. We're not just
So you're like
continuously
messing
taking
with
back.
the ecosystem?
A little bit, in a sense. It's still wild salmon, but we're able to help and not just keep taking from the system. So
You're replenishing.
yeah, every single year we replenish. So the companies were willing to do whatever we asked from them. So Can you explain what dream freezing is?
Yep, dream freezing is just they catch the fish and they want to freeze it 70 below within 2 hours of catching it. So it is at its freshest state, and then that kills all the bacteria and everything that's in it. And
Pretty much like magnets we use for freezing these fish. So a way of freezing it so we get it frozen as quick as possible so that it's as fresh as possible. Yeah, magnets. Magnets, not maggots.
yeah, like
No, these are not maggots. This is rice.
Chef, take us back again. You said you have to produce 100,000 pounds.
No, let's just say, in a sense, that we would ask them, can you produce 100,000
okay.
pounds for us? So,
I was going to say, now that you have John Murray on your team, you're golden.
absolutely.
Yeah.
so let's just say every single day we use 10 pounds of salmon, times that by 100 stores every single day.
Right.
And we need a back stock because I need to order every single day. So something, can you keep up with us? Is always the question.
So we were talking behind the scenes a little bit earlier, and I asked Jeff if y'all have stores in Japan, and the answer is
No, not yet.
Furthest west is where?
State College.
Oh, that's funny.
So State College, our furthest west. We're actually going into the Carolinas here shortly. We're opening up in Virginia Beach. So I can't wait till they open up in Florida. That's my goal, is to get to Florida.
So it's all the Northeast states?
Northeast, we're in Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, Ithaca
England,
area, Jersey, Maryland, Virginia. Yeah, all over the place.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, other fishes, I do apologize. We have albacore tuna, which is fished out of a boat out of the Pacific Northwest. We have the king salmon. We have Japanese scallops. We have octopus.
tuna.
We have big-eyed tuna, which is our red tuna, which is our only fish that is not sustainable. So if everybody is aware of tuna and we know how it's being overfished and everybody loves that bright red tuna, we're looking to get Japanese farm tuna.
Love it.
It is actually, it's going to be the fattiest tuna in the whole entire world. I actually had it, and I had the otoro, the belly part, and it was bright white and absolutely delicious. They are experimenting things in Japan where they have pretty much a massive pool, like let's say if you go to SeaWorld, but for tuna. And if you know tuna love to swim the oceans. They're bullets in the ocean. They like to go fast. They're a predator fish. But when they're in this little tiny area, these tuna are turning into couch potatoes. And they're extremely fatty, which is the greatest thing for them. Yes. But the problem being the Japanese tuna right now, other people want it. It's the bluefin tuna. It's pretty much like $45 a pound for us to buy it. So we can't afford it at this moment until we can potentially open up our own SeaWorld and have our own tuna. So
Wow.
we're looking to do that. So University of Japan. So we're in the process of getting that into our stores, but it's probably going to take some years to do that, just for sustainability purposes.
I'm thinking that the sushi is starting to make its way around the room. Yes, no? Not yet, maybe now?
So what we'll do, I'll press the garden vegetable here. So this is a carrot ginger soy wrap. So some folks, you may not like the taste of the seaweed. This is actually like sushi vegetable roll-up. The taste of this and texture by itself, don't eat it. I've tried it. I wasn't a fan. I figure I gotta try things in its raw state, understand everything about it, its texture, its flavors. Not good. Once the rice gets in there and it reconstitute the wrap, it's perfect. It's absolutely beautiful.
So there's like a process. I'm sorry to interrupt. But
No.
I just learned something. Every time I learn that one thing. So there's it's almost like a process is happening
100%. We have to let this sit for 2
after
minutes.
it's been rolled. Wow.
You want to press some sushi, get some.
Do we need John to come back?
Yeah,
'Cause he's
please.
like so good at this.
So this is the way I like to press my rice. I put it in a ball, I move it forward, and I move it backwards.
While Chef is rolling over there, I think this is fascinating. I mean, this is just such a learning experience.
Interesting.
Has everyone filled out the raffle tickets for the we're giving away 2 tickets to the upcoming menu in April, and our presenter is going to be Fire and Ice. And we're also giving 2 tickets away to the upcoming String Fling, which is going to be an amazing bluegrass event on the 23rd. Is there anybody that still wants to get a ticket in here before I pull them? Okay, can I have somebody help me pull the names? Maybe Deb? So first up is for the upcoming menu. She didn't peek. Can you read this?
Yes. Carmen? You did.
Carmen who?
Congratulations. Carmen, what's your last name?
Corridor, okay. Oh, perfect. So you have tickets for the upcoming menu, and then the second one is for the String Fling. I'm so blind.
Lisa Padula.
Lisa! I hope you like bluegrass. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Perfect. Sorry, Chef, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't know if y'all heard the music when you were walking in, but that was actually a local musician, a jazz musician that we all know and love, Mr. Rich Jenkins. If you really enjoyed that, hop on his website. He has a new CD out called The Tradester. He's often found up at the Deerhead Inn. He performs there quite regularly, but check out his website, richjenkins.com. That was some fun music. It's a good mix of all kinds of jazzy blues.
So everybody will see what our sushi, the green packaging, if you come to the store, represents vegetable. So if you look at our packaging at the store, you'll see red, blue, and green. Red meaning fire, means that it's cooked. Blue meaning ice, that it's raw. And green being vegetable. So if you're ever looking at the packaging at the store, you could differentiate what we have. So there's 4 different rolls for you folks. Our newest roll with the mangrove shrimp is the buffalo shrimp roll.
So it's a little spicy.
Thank you.
There's also the Thai sweet potato, the garden vegetable, and a California roll. If you folks look, if you flip over your package, the clear package, there's that little tiny slot. That's for where you put your wasabi and your soy sauce.
I'm going to bring this up to the camera.
Absolutely.
Look at how pretty this is.
So you put your wasabi and soy in there, so you have a little pouch. Our wasabi, if you go to typically anywhere else, is not wasabi. So our wasabi is wasabi.
Because it's usually a powder, isn't it?
It's typically from a powder form, and it's horseradish. That's dyed green. So we do have a little bit of horseradish in there. I'm not going to say that we don't, but a majority of it is wasabi, which is typically $40 a pound from the root version, and we source that from Japan.
$40 a pound?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
All right.
Why is it so expensive?
Well, where it's grown in like a bog. So it's something that is, a product that takes time and love to grow, so people can charge that much per pound.
Wow. Why is saffron so expensive?
Oh, because saffron is plucked from little tiny flowers.
Oh,
So it's like it's
pretty work intensive.
It's very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, but the flavor is absolutely beautiful, and I love the color of it as well. So I pressed some rice here. Jen also has some garden vegetables that she's letting us sit. So she's going to show you guys how to roll some sushi as well. You want to come over?
Does everyone in the audience like and appreciate sushi? Like, we've gone to Japanese restaurants, and everybody here is aware that Wegmans has a great sushi section in the store, right? Has anybody ever inadvertently taken in more wasabi than they should have?
It's got a little... It opens up the nasal passages,
It is
right?
really good if you have allergies.
Yeah, right?
That is so cool.
So this one I am making our famous shrimp tempura. It's a big seller in our store. So I just put some spicy mayo down, just a line of it. We have some lettuce, that you put on, and then our shrimp tempura.
I hope that this is not too late, but please, by all means, if anyone has any allergies to the seafood, please let your server know.
The shrimp tempura is actually gluten-free, so we also look at what are items that are trending, areas of concern. So we found a way to make a tempura batter that is gluten-free. So typical tempura, in the fashion, if you're doing it with cornstarch, you can have a gluten-free batter. You know, so just staying away from any type of rice, barley, wheat.
Is that a napkin?
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
My next one that I am making is our just regular veggie roll. So it's got carrots, cucumber, and avocado.
Don't the colors look like springtime? Isn't it awesome? On this snowy day. That's crazy good.
It's good.
It's really quiet in the room. How are we doing out there? Is this good? Yeah? I just had my first taste. That was really good. I think it was the one that John Murray made.
You can tell there's a lot of love in it, right?
Oh, it was great. Oh, this is amazing.
So we also have, if there's different type of wrappers out there as well for the sushi. We have a chili wrapper that we have on a buffalo. We have a soy ginger that we put on the carrot ginger. We also have a mango habanero wrapper that we put on a coconut shrimp roll.
That's pretty spicy.
I thought the same thing, but it has a little kick, but it's not that it's overbearing. So, you know, I think it almost makes sushi possible for everybody, because if you don't like the texture of raw fish, if you don't like the thought of eating raw fish, we have a lot of cooked items. So we're looking at, what are our customers looking for? What is something that can appeal to anybody? Because, you know, today's day and age, you see 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds with chopsticks in their hands, walking up to the counter saying, "Mom, I would like to try the tuna today." And at 6 years old, I didn't want to try anything besides chicken nuggets. and I know the adventurous individuals that we have, and I look at them like, that is amazing. I wish I was there. I think at 18 years old, my thought process, I only ate broccoli. It was the only vegetable that I ate.
That's
and
my
then
daughter Juliana. It drove me crazy.
one vegetable.
Yeah.
Well, I thought corn was a vegetable too, and I thought that, but then I went to culinary school and I had chefs that were like, "Oh, you have to try this, you have to try that." Oh, no way. Nope, not me. I'm not eating liver. Absolutely not. It's a textural difference, right? Until I tried calf's liver for the first time.
Isn't
and
it
I was,
awesome?
Yes. And then I was just, everything turned me on from there.
Excuse
Let
me.
me try the raw
I had too much
fish.
wasabi. Sorry.
So that's where we have different flavors of the world.
I'll bring that over to the camera.
Yeah.
That is just beautiful.
Absolutely.
Bring that up to the camera so they can see. I was one of those crazy moms that dragged her kids to the Japanese restaurant and gave them chopsticks and let them play. And I was just a firm believer in, like, try it one time before you say you don't like it.
Yes.
But we used to tell my baby sister, this is so funny, my younger sister is 13 years younger than me, and she was like really finicky. The only foods that she would eat were cheese, white bread, I don't know, there was apples, and peanut butter. Like, that was her diet. And at Christmas time, we were Italian, we have squid and all kinds of stuff that not everybody might like. So we would tell her that the squid was chicken. And no, and go figure. I mean, that was like back. she's like 40 now, so imagine that. It wasn't like if she had allergies, right? Nobody bothered to check back then. It was like trial and error.
Oh, they're two
But
different
my
rolls.
kids were pretty good about trying new things.
I was wondering why I was like, this carrot is an odd color. It's a sweet potato.
It looks pretty, though.
Yeah, it does.
It looks really cool.
So what everybody think?
I think this was a great transition from parade day, don't you think? No, not that parade day was bad, but I mean, like, it's just certainly, I think by now we're kind of like ready to try something a
Yeah.
little different than ham and cabbage,
Yeah, healthy eating.
because we'll be back to it next week.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Anybody have any questions? Anything that maybe you wondered about sushi, or how do you do that, or I want to make this at home. How do you cook the rice?
Yeah, Chef, we're definitely going to get there. I'm going to come
Oh,
out
I
to the floor
apologize.
actually
I'm
with
sorry.
the mic in just a minute. Yeah, definitely. No, this is so good. So I'm going to run out to the floor. We'll get some Q&A going on here. I was hoping to eat my last one. But
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
come back.
I'm sorry I
No,
rushed
I'm going to
you.
wait. I'm going to come back with that one. So I'm going to grab the microphone from Deb. Do you have a question?
Is that an Instapot that you use to make the rice?
That's all you need. No, it's not an Instapot. It is, but this is just a regular rice cooker.
Okay.
So the rice that we use is the koshikari rice. You can find that at the store. It's in a silver bag. I would suggest that you use that within the 45 days because it's going to tell you exactly how to cook it. You're going to see it's going to be old crop or new crop that's going to stay on there. And it's going to tell you how much water to put in there for when you cook it. So all it is rice, water, turn your pot on. Once it's done, just how we broke it. You don't even need a paddle like this. If you have a wooden spoon at home, just get in there and keep breaking it and breaking it and breaking it and put a little bit of vinegar in there until your rice starts to make a nice little ball. Once you have a ball, it's perfect. You're ready to go. So then, I make a little rice hot dog. Push forward, move back. Push forward, move back. And get it spread across there. So really this can be taken home, and I'm sure a lot of people got that sushi kit as a Christmas present because you love it.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And you never used it. You're like, oh, I'm going to use this one day. I'm going to have a party. But I don't.
The Murrays.
Yeah, the Murrays will be covered over. I'll be getting you that for Christmas. I'll make sure when I see you on Tuesday, I'll have a sushi kit for you. So. But it's not as difficult as it seems. Rice, vinegar, and it's all about just getting in there and making a mold out of it, kind of. Because I used to think,
No questions?
as a chef, I'm like, I saw these guys fanning it, and they're adding vinegar. Then they kept washing their hands. I was like, how do you figure this out?
We have a question.
Absolutely.
Question, hold on. So you always see these sushi automatic machines that will roll it for you. What do you feel is that compared to a hand-rolled sushi roll?
Well,
It's quicker.
yeah, if you are at a store trying to produce lots of sushi, I like the machine, but then it's consistent. It's exactly the same across, because if you look at mine, I have little mounds and there's more rice here. We have less rice when it's sheeted perfect, except for when I hand press this. Me personally, don't tell Wegmans. I like it when it's hand pressed. I would rather this way because I like a little bit more rice to mine. And yeah, so I prefer that personally. So make the famous California roll.
Oh, I guess my mic is off. Do we have any questions? Oh, yay. I love to see a hand raised. Perfect.
I want to know what the reason you always serve ginger with the sushi. Is there a special reason,
Yes.
or is it just your preference?
Palate cleanser.
That's a great
It's like having a
question, yeah.
sorbet for like your fourth course of a seventh course meal. So ginger has that value of taking away the spiciness of the last thing. It actually cleans your palate. So that's why they have ginger with sushi.
I thought I saw a hand over here. Did I see a hand over here for a question? Oh, it's like the auction. Oop, no, I wasn't bidding. Chef, how long are you doing this?
Sushi? Sushi, this is, I've only learned to roll sushi when I came to Wegmans. Chef, and feels like forever. 18 years?
18 years?
18 years being a chef. Rolling sushi, I've been doing it for about 3 years.
That's very cool. This table over here would like to know, could you recap the items that you prepared tonight so
Absolutely.
that they know what to purchase?
Yep.
Is this particular combination that you made in the menu?
The buffalo shrimp is. So the buffalo shrimp is in the menu magazine. So that is a new item that we have that we brought on that actually, I think if you put blue cheese and hot sauce on anything, you're going to love it. Me personally. So that is a new item that we started doing, and it's flying. We have the sweet potato roll, which the garden vegetable, which had the orange wrapper on the outside, and the famous California roll.
You know what, I just see us using white rice tonight. Can you do this with brown rice as well?
Absolutely.
Excellent question.
So we at the store do white and brown rice. We have brown rice, but there's also, we put red quinoa on it. So just little textural differences.
Still really enjoying this sushi out here. That's so good. So you said that the hot wing pizza or the hot wing sushi?
Yeah, the buffalo shrimp, buffalo shrimp roll. We also started a coconut shrimp roll too. So if you ever see the caterpillar roll, it has, avocado on the outside. So we have our mangrove shrimp on the inside, coconut chips, and avocado on the outside.
That's crazy.
Oh,
That's
it's delicious.
Yeah. What threw me off before was when you said you just like the mix with blue cheese. That gets me every time.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that good personally.
So good.
But then I ate it and I was like, wow.
Well, immediately Super Bowl Sunday just like popped into my head and I thought, wow, that's a great something different
Right.
to have, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about, do we have any questions here? No? Oh, Rich. Our friend Rich has a question.
I'm just wondering, for the store, how do you know how much to make so that you don't waste product?
Oh man, we have systems that have systems that have systems.
That's so cool.
So it's funny you say that. Me and Jenna were just doing that before we came here.
Yeah.
Talking about how much to produce. So we have a system for everything. We have reports that report on reports. So we have trackers every single day. We look back at how much did we sell. On an average day, I could tell you we sell an average of 32 shrimp tempura roll. On an average day, we sell 37 California rolls. So I look at it so much that I can tell you how much you need to roll today because we look at the reports. So we have actionable data every single day. So I have Tuesday's data on Wednesday, and it spits out a report that tells us how much we should do by which hour, when our busiest hours are, what time do we have to be set up by. So
Chef, one of our volunteers has a question.
absolutely.
Is there anything that you would not put in sushi? Certain fish or vegetables that just don't roll well?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
not
could
to
think of
put
a
in
couple
sushi?
things like the blue cheese. I would have never thought of cheese ever in sushi. Spinach. I've never seen spinach in sushi. We have done kale in sushi, where you steam the kale and put that in there. But I don't think that there's anything that's it's your preference.
I've tried dessert sushi where I personally put bananas inside with chocolate. You wouldn't think that would mix with the rice, but it is delicious.
Oh, that's weird.
So yeah. I would love to start selling it at Wegmans, but
Chef, what's the weirdest sushi you've had?
Ooh. Well, I would probably the weirdest. I used to go to sushi. I used to live in Colorado. There was this place called A1 Sushi, and we would go every single week, and we'd buy boats of sushi. So the guy would bring us out. He'd be like, "Oh, you have to try this. You have to try this. You have to try this." So we would eat anything that he brought to us, like shad roe, the collar of yellowfin was absolutely the best thing ever. Like, these are the pieces that he would save for him and his staff, but he started bringing out to us because we would show up all the time. And
Back up. One of our volunteers has another question.
absolutely.
So I always eat your sushi, and I was wondering if you would recommend something new to me.
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
where are you at right now? Are you the raw cooked?
I would like to try raw. I do eat raw tuna.
So next time you come up to the store, please come up to us. I want you to try the salmon.
Try the salmon.
That salmon it's heavenly. I can't even explain how delicious it is. Like, raw, cooked. I prefer not to cook it because you don't want to ruin a good
Those
thing.
are your great starting points,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So come up to the sushi bar, and Jenna will slice you up some of that salmon. If Jenna's not there, please come find me. I'm usually running circles right around that area.
Thank you very much.
And I'll take care of you.
Thank you.
What about the caloric intake? Is it good if you're on a diet?
Well,
Not that I care.
I guess it's based upon what diet you're on. There's the keto diet, so I've had a friend of mine was eating pork rinds and potato chips, or not potato chips, pork rinds and bacon. And he's on this keto diet. I was like, what are you doing? Lost so much weight because of it, and I'm like, here I am trying to figure life out, how to lose weight. And he's eating pork rinds. So yeah, if you're on a diet, we can do the soy wrapper instead of the rice if you don't want to do the the rice with the sushi.
Skinny rolls.
Yeah, skinny rolls. So there is
Summer
different things
rolls.
that we can accommodate for your diet.
Well, it is, well, maybe I'm wrong, but like I would like to believe that it's a healthier alternative to like your red meats all the time.
Absolutely.
Not that I would ever give up my red meat, because I wouldn't, but if the doctor were to say you have to kind of cut back on your
Yeah.
red meat intake,
100%. Yeah, this is.
and then you can go overboard with this and go another direction,
Yeah.
right? Because there's too much of a good thing is bad anyway, but
Well, we've tried it in Rochester area for sports arenas, sushi on a stick pretty much. You get a stick of sushi, uncut, just that's your snack for, someone's eating a corn dog, you're eating a sushi roll.
sushi on a stick.
Yeah, so it's just sushi. You get the whole entire roll of sushi uncut, and you walk around and eat that.
If we're out at a festival, like a food and wine festival or a music festival, and there happens to be a vendor that is serving sushi, should we trust it?
I don't trust anybody but Wegmans. I'll put it that way, because I know we do.
Not even the restaurants?
There's some restaurants I would never even step foot in because of what I see, their practices. The way, I won't serve this to you, nothing against anybody, but
Well, there goes my next question.
right. Just nothing against, like the temperature and time controls, we make sure everything is defrosted properly. The way that our fish never lasts more than 2 days. Like, we'll cut it into a sashimi block, and the next day we'll put it into a roll. That's the furthest it goes. There's some places out there that there's no labels, there's no dates. I've seen sushi places where I went and they're letting it sit out on the counter. I'm so bad, I just want to put that away. Keep that refrigerated, because you're eating this raw. At the end of the day, I don't want anybody ever to get sick. I treat every one of my customers as though my family. So if somebody says I have an allergy, I'm not going to serve you this product, because there's potential for cross-contamination. We have a bakery over here that works with peanuts. We work with peanuts. I would treat it as though they were my child. I don't want my child to get sick, so I don't want any of my customers to get sick. So the level that we treat our product is something that will surpass any place that I would go for sushi. So that's where I find it kind of skeptical.
Jeff, we have about 2 minutes left. Yes. Does this segment kind of help us overcome our fear a little bit? I think, some of us tend to be a little bit fearful, but do you feel as though now you might be more willing to try something like this as opposed to maybe before
I
you
have a
came in
question.
today?
If you were going to try sushi, either going to Wegmans to buy it, or if you were going to make it yourself, like how do you gauge the amount to make, say, for 4 or 6 people?
Well, the average amount of protein that goes into a roll is about an ounce. So, how much sushi can I consume? Well, depends upon the day. I used to be the boat person. Now I try to eat vegetarian during the week to try and get my figure down, but obviously not working too well. But me personally, I like about 4 rolls. So I would think about 4 ounces per protein per person. So 4 rolls would suffice me beyond I would want to eat any more sushi. But I also like to make, you know, where we have a little nigiri. So you take your rice ball and put a little piece of protein on top. I would suggest, me personally, and the only place that I'll buy my fish for sushi is Wegmans. We do sell it out of the case, and you know, the price is anywhere from $36 to $40 per pound, but you're only buying 4 ounces at a time, so you might look at, you know, anywhere from $8 to $9 per person. When you're going to buy the rice is extremely cheap. The nori, you can buy it in our international aisle. So you're going to have a nice meal at your house, where this roll, you go out somewhere, it's $6. You know, this roll here is $9. You can make it at your house for, you know, $1.
So it's fresh, it's
$1.50.
affordable, it's accessible, and it's very well thought out.
Absolutely.
Like, that's amazing. Please give Chef Tony Griffiths a round of applause. And Jenna Fuller. I just thought that was a very, very interesting segment. I mean, each month that we do this, we do learn something new, and that was just kind of a scientific and an artistic presentation all rolled into one, and we thank you so very much. Folks, before we let you go, we just wanted to bring your attention, especially for us foodies, of the upcoming menu. April 9th, Fire and Ice will be our presenter. So please make sure that you come back April 9th. That will be our last one for the season until next season in the fall. And then, of course, one of our biggest fundraisers of the year is the end of April. April 29th is our annual evening of fine food and wine. So please make sure you hop on our website, get some more information. Tickets are, if they're not on sale already, they will be on sale very soon. There should be some materials on your tables. Please take them with you, so then that way you can remember to save the date. Once again, a round of applause for Chef Tony and Chef Jenna. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our wonderful volunteers who helped serve this evening, our bar staff. Please, if you haven't had there's a drink special over there that is so delicious. Brian, our bartender, is there. He'll be there to serve you. If you would like one more, help yourself. Another very special thank you to Mark McLeary from ECTV. We'll look forward to seeing this a little bit later. And thank you to you for being here and supporting this. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Thank you.
My night